Uh, as John Krasinski once said, my favorite water cooler topic is fantasy football. I used to make fun of my friends, and now I'm obsessed. Hello. As you might have guessed, I'm going to be talking about fantasy football and why you should play it. And my name is Jake Oliver. I wholeheartedly believe that everyone should play fantasy football and that it improves your life. Fantasy football is where you draft virtual teams with players from the NFL and compete against each other in leagues. And it's based on what happens in every single NFL game every week. So you get to be your own GM, which, if you like sports, you grew up wanting to be. The game was created in 1962 in a small New York hotel room. Since then, the game has grown exponentially, and the players, especially as more apps are being made, and even NFL players are playing it. Thus, why should you listen to me sway your view towards playing fantasy football? Well, I've played fantasy football for 4+ years now, made the playoffs in almost every single league that I've played, won awards like this hat, and I am a paid fantasy football analyst writer for two different companies, Dynasty Nerds and Fantasy Data. So there's so much division in America right now. No one comes together and just enjoys. Like, they don't compete for fun and enjoy things together. Instead, all we are reminded of is our supposed differences. Why not enjoy something with the people all around you? Why not discover a new way of enjoying one of the best sports in the world? Keep listening so you can discover the wonders of playing fantasy football and why you should play it too. It might help you meet some people too. Too often people claim that fantasy football is confusing or complicated, that ruins the enjoyment of the games. Yes, there's multiple variations of fantasy football, from standard to PPR to daily to dynasty and so on. However, that shouldn't dissuade you from joining a league. You're missing out on a way to enhance and expand your NFL fandom knowledge, deepen social bonds, create social bonds, and share your passion and enjoy stuff with the people that you want to share it with. And you might win some money, and you can improve your work life and learn valuable skills too. My plan is to convince you that you need to play fantasy football. It is so much more than just a complicated kids game. It's meant to unite people and distract us from the constant anger and sadness in life. It uplifts and enlightens your weekend, brings interest to it. Therefore, my plan is to have you join a fantasy football league next year. Reach out to me, I'll help you. I'm going to explain why you need to join one. This plan works because it will help you learn more skills. It'll help your social interactions not be lonely, discover new players, widen your enjoyment. It'll help your mental health as it's helped me. It'll help your work life. Plus, since 81% of fantasy players are male, let's get some women to enjoy fantasy football too. So, how does this plan help you create social bonds? How does playing fantasy football help that? As someone with intense social skill issues like me, I can confirm that playing fantasy football has helped me develop some deep friendships. It's allowed me to have connections with people that I never thought I would have connections with. I struggle to fit in, and I realize that I can fit in with fantasy football, and it can do that for you too. You can create deep bonds with everyone in your league. You can bring your family or workmates closer, discover new friends. In fact, companies that play fantasy football are 12% more engaged during their workday than those who don't play. Plus, the draft party and winning a league are hard emotions to beat. Secondly, it helps your viewing experience of the NFL. You can still be a fan of your favorite team and still root for other players. If 60 million people play fantasy football, I think it enhances people's enjoyment. You get to learn more about players, although you only need to know the top players. And even then, you have all these computers and articles and people like me that write and can help you with it all. Now you just get to watch the games with a different viewpoint and look at each individual play instead of, oh, did they score a touchdown? It creates emotions. It gets you motivated and invested. Finally, playing fantasy football can help you acquire math, business, logic, and other skills. You'll learn how to negotiate for trade, which is important to know in the real world. You can learn how to recognize prime windows of buying and selling, whether that's help you with stocks even. Learning to recognize talent will help you become a better manager. Additionally, you can even earn money from it someday if you want to. Though I don't mean daily fantasy, but you can make money from that too. My plan for you to just join one league next season is the best because it comes with no restrictions or hidden offers. It's free and you get to learn and try something new. Plus, why not just take a risk? See what happens. You'll probably like it. Some people say, you know, I think you'll like it, but some people do say the fantasy football can be too complicated or lead to gambling, ruining the NFL. Hogwash, I say. Yes, fantasy football can lead to gambling if you decide to go all into the daily fantasy and spend all your money on it. I don't. I don't even do leagues that are more than $20. However, it's easy to resist it if you just keep playing for free or, like me, cheap. Furthermore, I've already explained how you can learn more about the game, more about football, over a whole season rather than just watching the one team. And plus, to finish, fantasy football doesn't have to be complicated. Like I said, the computer does all the numbers. You just look at the points and stats and make an educated guess, no better than I. Also, like I mentioned, there's tons of people and articles and things you can see and go to for help. So as I wrap this up on why you should play fantasy football, I've spoken about how over 60 million people play, how it can help your work social life, help you win some money, has plenty of tools to help you play, and the various life skills that you can learn while playing. I truly appreciate you giving me the opportunity to share with you the reasons as to why I think and say you should play fantasy football. Fantasy football has improved and changed my life for the better in so many ways. It can do so many things like that for you too.